I had a really interesting question that I'm going to do for the Ask Cheeky today. It came from somebody who I just met with, a PhD, who said they were really struggling in their job search. They actually wanted to give up, and they're still in academia. They wanted to give up not just on their job search, their career, right? I mean, it was one of those where everything that they had worked for, their research, uh, seemed to not matter, seemed to be for nothing, right? I mean, maybe they got, maybe for you, she got a bad piece of data. Maybe, um, maybe something's not working on your project. Maybe you didn't get the funding you wanted. Maybe you uploaded a resume and didn't hear back, or hundreds of resumes. Maybe you're just in a lull right now, like a lot of people, a lull, as in you're just kind of waiting around, right? The job market is kind of uncertain. There's not a lot of PhD hiring relative to the end of last year. You're you're struggling to make sense of where to go. Maybe you lost a sense of purpose in what you were doing. Everything seemed really clear. Things got shaken up over the past year, and we're in a new world, so to speak, a new economy. Your career is different now. Your outlook is different now than it was, and I think this is something a lot of people are facing. So, I mean, the first thing to do, I've had many of these times in my career and in an academia before I transitioned the first time. I had months, a few months in a row in particular. It was what ended up being a year before my last year, and I lost what I was supposed to be doing. I thought I was on this clear path to, being a professor. Certainly, if I kept doing everything right, that there would be this path that would lay out in front of me, and I would just have to work hard and connect the dots and do, what was expected of me, and I would somehow get ahead. And I realized that wasn't happening. And I started looking at the writing on the wall, looking at people that were 5 years, 10 years ahead of me. They were not happy. A lot of them were, getting pushed out. I started seeing some like PhD students working for free after they graduated because they didn't have a job lined up. So I mean, that was kind of, the veil was lifted, so to speak. And I think we all reached this moment in our PhD career where what we thought it was going to be is not what it is, and we look ahead and things are not going to get better, and we struggle to make sense of it. So we're trying to like put the puzzle pieces together in a different way, and then you come to the conclusion, which is the only rational conclusion. It really is, especially today, that oh, the jobs are here. My career future is here. Some people, they delay this, but inevitably your career is going to be outside of academia in what we call industry. And now you have a new problem because you haven't been trained on how to transition to industry. You don't even know what other jobs are available in industry. It's very, very challenging to make sense of an entire sector. It's almost like saying, okay, here, you spent the last 5 years, maybe 10, maybe more, studying these fields in academia, understanding how things work. We're going to take you out of that, take you off the top of that mountain or near the top of that mountain, and put you at the base of another mountain of knowledge that you have no familiarity with. And then you also don't know anybody else that's on this other mountain, right? You don't have an industry network. You don't know what to do. So it's okay, in short, if you feel demotivated or de-energized. Don't beat yourself up more. Don't call and talk to, your friends or family and ask them what's wrong with you. Don't say I made a mistake and kind of look for any sort of explanations or answers. Okay, don't do that. Instead, just enter a different frame of mind. Say, you know what? Okay, today I'm feeling demotivated. I'm feeling stressed out. I'm going to do something very small. I'm just going to show up. So that's the first thing, right? Just show up, as in still walk over to the lab, go to the classroom, still pull up your resume, whatever it is for you, right? Pull up your thesis if you're trying to finish that. Whatever that one thing is, just show up. Just show up, even though it's not going to be a great day. It's not going to be your most productive day, whatever it is, just show up. Don't get depressed. Don't call and talk about it. Don't add energy to the uncertainty. It's just uncertainty. It's just a bad day. It'll be better the next day when you start having some traction. Okay, so just show up. The second thing is take the focus off of the goal. Okay, so when it's a goal, like I really wanted to get hired. I wanted to get to this next step in my career. I wanted to publish. I wanted to get this experiment done. If you're having one of those days where you're demotivated, that's not going to help you. You instead step out of that, step away from it, and say instead, be reflective. Like, what am I not considering? Get into that discovery mindset. It's a very refreshing mindset to get in. It's what got you into your PhD in the first place. How can I, zoom out? Look at the forest, not the trees, the scope. Okay, how far have I come? Where was I 5 years ago? Certainly further off than I was 5 years ago. What are some other possibilities here? What are some careers out there? If you go into like, what are some careers out there from a goal perspective of, I got to know the right career for me right now, and I got to play out the scenario of how I'm going to get hired into it, that can be difficult. But if you approach it from a discovery mindset and think, what are the possibilities out there, right? What are the different careers? What might work out? But from a positive mindset, like possibilities, right? What else is there? And there's a practical application of this that I'm going to talk about very soon too. And then to help you in that frame of mind, think about how you can connect with somebody else in some way, right? Think about, okay, who could I talk to? Well, a lot of us try to isolate. That's why this is important. We isolate, we get stuck in our head, we live in our mind, we play out scenarios, we think of everything that can be wrong, or we connect with people to ask them what's wrong with us. Don't do that. Instead, connect with somebody and ask them how things are going. How are things going in the lab for you? What's going on in your career? Sometimes we shy away from that because what if they're doing really good and we're doing bad? Just ask them. It'll help you see things from a different perspective. It'll help you see the ups and downs. Now, as far as practical things that you can do, right? The three practical small things that I recommend that are specifically career based. So I'm going to get a bit more practical or tactical here. I like to recommend, again, going back to that discovery mindset, set up an informational interview with somebody with nothing on the other end of it. You're not going to try to get a referral with this conversation. You're not going to try to achieve any goal. You just want to talk to somebody that's doing a different line of work. Or again, it can even be somebody that's, if you can't find anybody else that's working in industry, you don't have connections yet, talk to somebody else that's an alumni of your university or of your undergrad. Talk to a PI of another lab. Just ask them questions about their career, what they did, how they made their choices. Get into that discovery mindset. It'll pull you out of this kind of woe is me, I'm not making any progress. It'll help you see more possibilities. Number two, sometimes we take on too much. We think I got to rewrite my whole resume. Nobody's answering it. All these things are going wrong. Focus on something small. Write one bullet point. Write or rewrite one bullet point of your resume. Think of the bullet point that goes on the top of your resume. If you're doing it right and you followed our templates, it's the professional summary, which has your three biggest career highlights. Rewrite that one bullet point. Go to any job posting that's even, somewhat interesting to you. Look at all the different keywords that are on there, especially the keywords you may not think are important keywords like the word contribute or self-motivated, right? These transferable skills. Just rewrite that one bullet point, starting with a transferable skill and talking about a technical skill and ending with some sort of result. Make that the best bullet point. Just focus small, one bullet point. Even if you spend an hour playing around with that one bullet point, just that will give you a sense that you're digging into something and you're approaching it from a different mindset. You're not taking on too much. You're taking on something very small. The third thing is try changing your LinkedIn headline. Just change your LinkedIn headline to focus on the career that you want most. Put the job title for that career in there. Put some of the key skills for that career. Don't overthink it. Don't think, oh, I don't know if I should do this. What if I'm limiting myself from other careers? Just do it for a day. Change that headline for one day and just see what happens. See if any recruiters, employers reach out to you just from changing that headline. Wait 24 hours. If you can do it, wait 48 hours. Just see what happens. See what new connections you might make just from doing that. It'll surprise you. LinkedIn, their crawlers are always going. Most pages get indexed or re-indexed incredibly quickly. Just try doing something small like that. Just change it up, shake it up just a little bit. You can always go back, right? You can always revert it. There's no penalty on LinkedIn for changing your headline and changing it back. So there's three practical things you can try, three more larger strategic things that you can try to get out of your own head to start thinking about things in terms of that discovery mindset, that possibility mindset. Most importantly, do not beat yourself up. It is a challenging time right now. The worst thing you can do is, be in this lull, feel demotivated, and then not, do anything or make it worse, add energy to it, talk about how bad things are, decide you're not going to do anything, that you really have lost your purpose. Don't do that. Just try these little practical things that I talked about. Try talking to others about possibilities. Try to get into that discovery mindset. and then within a day or two, you will come out of this. You won't come out of it if you sink into, how bad things are and you focus on that and you talk to everybody about how bad things are and you stay away from the possibility mindset. Don't do that. Okay, get into that possibility mindset. Hopefully this helps you. If you want to watch more of these videos, you can on our social media platforms. If you want to learn more about what I do at Cheeky Scientist, just go to cheekyscientist.com. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you do when you feel de-energized or when you feel not motivated for or that your PhD career is at a dead end. Let me know what you do in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And for those of you that are here live, Ellen and Sweta, Sibaj, Murad, Sabine, and Connor, Josh, Karen, Michelle, Dia, Shadra, all of you, great to see you on. Remember your value as a PhD and start thinking and acting like a successful industry professional.